I see that this morning we're doing something odd, which is starting with an opening song right out of the gate. So we have Enter, Rejoice, and Come In at number 361, and I think since we stood last week, and that seemed okay to me, if you would like to rise up as you're willing and able, please do so, and we'll sing a song. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Today will be a joyful day. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Please be seated, and Linda Underwood is going to join us somehow, I hope. You don't have Linda Underwood? I can show her on my phone. Okay, if we don't have Linda, Linda was going to come to you from Cape Cod this morning. She will do that again next week. We wanted to show you that if you're in Cape Cod or in Brighton, Michigan, or in Seattle, Washington, you can still participate. So next week we'll see Linda. Welcome to church this morning. We're glad you have chosen to join us. We do have a few announcements. One is that adult religious education this morning is after this service. I'm told it's in Waters, correct? Not Astalinder, where you may be used to going. Meatless Monday was supposed to be last week. It is this Monday, tomorrow. I wouldn't go over there and just wait, because it's not till 5 p.m. tomorrow. But tomorrow, Meatless Monday over in Waters, correct? Let's see. I would note that the Major League Baseball All-Star Game is this Tuesday. I'll just leave it at that. And you may not care at all. Thank you. Yesterday, in this space, we had a memorial for Jack Smith's son, Jay. Jay's family was here with us, and a number of you attended, and it was also streamed. This is a sculpture that Jay, I don't know when Jay did this, a while back. And we were told that anytime Jay came to visit his dad, Jack, he would say, "Oh, I did this." So, for Jay. What else? We have a prelude. Call to worship comes from Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Lindsay Bates. Let us open our minds to the challenge of reason. Let us open our hearts to the healing of love. Let us open our lives to the calling of conscience. Let us open our souls to the comfort of joy. Astonished by the miracle of life, grateful for the gift of fellowship, confident in the power of our living faith, here we are gathered. Let us worship together. Our hymn is number 86, Blessed Spirit of My Life, has 2 verses, and I'd invite you to rise up as you're willing and able. Please be seated. Our children have their own religious education class by Zoom each Sunday at 10 a.m. If you'd like to attend or help your child to attend, login information can be found on our website at uucov.org or on our Facebook page. This morning we have queued up, I hope, something called The Thankful Book. This is a book written by Todd Parr, and it will be read this morning by Mr. Zach.
Sounds and Stories with Mr. Zach.
The Thankful Book by Todd Parr. Every day I try to think about the things that I am thankful for. I'm thankful for my hair because it makes me unique. And I'm thankful for my ears because they let me hear words like I love you. I'm thankful for my garden because I like to watch things grow. And I am thankful for my shadow because it makes me look taller. I'm thankful for bubble baths because they keep me squeaky clean. And I'm thankful for underwear because I like to wear it on my head. I'm thankful for my friends because they make me smile. And I'm thankful for my pets because they keep me warm. I'm thankful for vacations because I get to see new people and places. And I'm thankful for walks because they're special times for just you and me. I'm thankful for my hands because they help me give special gifts. And I'm thankful for my feet because they help me run and play. I am thankful for music because it makes me wanna dance. And I'm thankful for colors because they make me want to paint. I'm thankful for school because I love to learn new things. And I'm thankful for the library because it's filled with endless adventures. I am thankful for healthy food because it keeps me strong. I'm thankful for fall because I like to jump in the leaves. And I'm thankful for winter because I like to build snowmen. I'm thankful for hugs because they make me feel good. And I'm thankful for kisses because they make me feel loved. I'm thankful for the holidays because they bring my family together. But most of all, I am thankful for you.
Don't know if this is on. We'll see. Does that sound like it's on? Okay. So if you've brought any celebrations with you to church this morning, I will bring you the microphone, and because we don't want to pass cooties around quite yet, I'll continue to hold on to the microphone.
What?
Yes. What would you like?
I would like to let people know that today is my wife's birthday.
Thank you for saying so. Happy birthday. Did I see another hand?
Hi, I'm friend Venice, and I have my lovely daughter Allison, and her husband is staying with us for a week, and it's been grand.
Good. Other celebrations?
I'm thankful for Wendy Rabin, who is on my left, who has come back for a second visit this week.
Welcome. Other celebrations. If you've brought any sorrows with you to church this morning, I'll bring you the microphone also.
This is Fran again. I don't think many of you will remember Dan Kapika. He left about the area about 10 years ago, and he died last week. He was a very interesting and active man and donated all the bookcases in Waters Hall. So if you remember him, say a thank you for his life and a remembrance of his wife, Catherine.
Thank you. Other sorrows. Not too late. Yes, a joy. Do you have a joy?
Yes, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell it or not. I can't get. It's hard for me sometimes to tell the difference between yes and no. That's kind of dangerous. But we were coming in the car this morning, and Francie told me that today is her birthday, and today is her husband's birthday. And not too long ago, they celebrated their anniversary. So I think she's still kind of lit up over here, but she wouldn't say anything.
I don't think it's just Francie that's lit up. May the gratitude and celebrations among us this day become a blessing to us all, and may the concerns and sorrows of each of us be carried in all our hearts, a burden shared, become a load lightened. I have brought a reading from the author Pat Conroy. Pat Conroy wrote a book called My Losing Season. It was a memoir. He was talking in the book about a losing season of a basketball team he was on. I hear this and I think of the losses we've all been through, especially the last year and a half, but many other losses we've experienced recently. So he writes this: loss invites reflection and reformulating and a change of strategies. Loss hurts and bleeds and aches. Loss is always ready to call out your name in the night. Loss follows you home and taunts you at the breakfast table, follows you to work in the morning. You have to make accommodations and broker deals to soften the rabbit punches that loss brings into your daily life. You have to take the word loser and add it to your resume and walk around with it on your name tag. The word loser follows you, bird dogs you, sniffs you out of whatever fields you hide in, because you have to face things clearly and you cannot turn away from what is true. So ends the reading. I invite you into a spirit of prayer and meditation that will begin with a poem from the late American poet Mary Oliver, this entitled Wild Geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. We lift up those in this community who face change, challenge, or loss this day as we hold within our hearts all who suffer. And now we pray, each in our own ways, into the silence. The hopes of this community are offered forth in the names of all those who've gone before and in the names of all those who will come after. In the names of all the helpers of humankind. Shalom, salam, amen, and blessed be. Our interlude is a piece called The Baseball Game. Comes from the play Your Good Man, Charlie Brown, composed by Clark Gessner. Video and performance this morning by our own director of music, Dr. Marcel Leonard.
Dear pen pal, you'll never guess what happened today at the baseball game. It's hard to believe what happened today at the baseball game. I was the manager, Schroeder was catcher, and all of the team was the same as always. But somehow a rather disaster struck at the baseball game. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the bases were loaded with 2 men out. I pitched my curve, but somehow he hit it a good strong clout. Lucy, I hollered, it's coming right to you. She caught it as easy as pie, then dropped it. I don't think it's good for a team's morale to see their manager cry. Soupy helped out by biting the runner and catching the ball in his teeth. Linus caught flies from a 3rd-story window while holding his blanket beneath. Yes, we had fortitude, no one could argue with that. And 1 run would win us the game as we went up to bat. 2 men were on with 2 outs and me with 1 strike to go. Then I saw her, this cute little red-headed girl I know. Firmly I vowed I would win it for her, and I shouldered my bat and I swung. Dear pen pal, I'm told where you live is really quite far. Would you please send directions on how I can get where you are? Your friend, Charlie Brown.
caps were navy blue. So were the stripes on our real uniforms with the name Yankees spelled out in that iconic cursive across the chest. Yankees might have been a strange name to sew on a team of wild-eyed, lily-white 11-year-olds in the Jim Crow South of the mid-20th century. I, for one, had grown up with the knowledge that my family had deep roots back through the Confederacy. Yankees? I would become more familiar with the word paradox as I grew older. At the time, though, the Yankees were the only team that chose me. There was little to distinguish that Little League team that year. None of us were or are now, as far as I know, exceptional in any category that matters to many people. We did have one star pitcher. We called him that because no one could ever get a hit off of him. He was just too dangerous. He started the year wearing a pair of those old Coke bottle eyeglasses, and he switched midway through the season to some sort of prehistoric contacts that made him squint like a grade school Mr. Magoo. He could throw hard. He couldn't see. That's an awesome combination for any pitcher, especially a Little League one. This kid just scared the daylights out of every opposing batter. If he didn't hit them or strike them out, he would just walk them and walk them and walk them again and again and again. No one that I know of ever bothered to calculate his ERA. We just knew he never won. The one thing that in my mind sets this team apart from any of the other teams I have played on down through the years is that we lost. That spring, all those years ago, we lost not just every month or every week. Most of the time we lost twice a week. Of the 16 games we played together that season, we lost every game but one. And I had to get to be an adult before I realized how unusual an accomplishment this really is. Because the Major League Baseball teams that stink win probably a third of their games. Football teams that are terrible win 2 or 3 or 4 of their 16 games. No, we were losers of more immense proportion than my mind then or now could assimilate. Time and time and time again, we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. We lost a lot. I was the first string catcher, meaning on that team I was the only catcher. The catcher on a baseball team is supposed to be the leader. The catcher, stationed behind home plate, is the one player who is uniquely positioned to see all the field of play laid out before her eyes. The catcher's the one who's supposed to remember the other batters and what pitches they like or don't like and where they're likely to hit the ball if they do hit it. She reads the plays as they develop. She tells others where to throw and what to cover and who to back up. The catcher is incredibly important to a team's success. And I did my best. I urged my teammates on, and I lifted their spirits after bad plays and good. And we lost. Now, these were not your typical give up and roll over kind of kids either. One case in point, Jimmy, the Yankees' wisp of a second baseman, got run over on a play by this big kid named Hal. Big Hal poked a hard line drive into the left field corner, didn't even notice little Jimmy there in the base path. Hal just trampled Jimmy into the ground on his way around second on his way to a stand-up triple. Jimmy lay there for a long moment, And then he dragged himself up out of the mud and the blood and the tears, and he started limping towards the dugout. About 2/3 of the way there, he stopped. He turned back towards Big Hal over on third base and yelled, "You're not getting rid of me that easy." And he squared his little shoulders and strode defiantly back out to second and played the rest of the game and the rest of the season. My teammates then were tough kids. Losers, sure, but tough. When one loses nearly every time one steps onto a field of play, one is not threatened by throngs of adoring fans, nor is one overly burdened by daydreams of celebrity and stardom. One's mind is left to be starkly open, shall we say, to new ways of understanding. I wish I could say I learned to look cool as I swung at another pitch in the dirt or took another called third strike. No, I'm sure I always looked just as pitiful losing as the next loser. If I didn't learn how to look cool while losing, I do think I learned at least one thing. I learned how to lose. I have visited in quite a number of Unitarian Universalist churches around the country, and in the largest number of them, it has seemed like it might be pretty hard to talk about losing. Maybe it's because most of us UUs want to think of ourselves as winners, not losers. In fact, as a rule, I think we tend to think about most people as winners. Maybe that's because we say we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and so we have a hard time thinking about them being somewhat less than perfect. Maybe that's why we are shocked by bad behavior. We're thrown for a loop by random acts of violence. We really don't like to think about those times when life is out of control, when things don't go as we plan, when we or our neighbors screw up or fall off the path or commit a sin or whatever you would choose to call that. We like to think that everything goes well for those who think right and act right and go to the right church. This one. But my experience tells me that this church is pretty much like all the other Unitarian Universalist churches I've been in. There is no special insulation in these walls, this ceiling, or all these glass doors. Inside here, as well as outside and all around, bad things happen. Scary things, annoying things, awful things sometimes. Because bad things do happen to good people, no matter where they go to church or synagogue or temple or mosque or don't. I know we don't like to think about bad stuff happening in our congregations, but I've been in and I know of churches where children have suffered fatal diseases, where accidents have claimed the lives of youth and young people, where members have committed suicide or murder, where staff or volunteers have embezzled money, where ministers have abused their power and their authority, as well as physically and emotionally abusing the vulnerable people they are called to care for. Bad stuff does happen, and we know that it does, and we ignore that at our peril. What about in our own personal lives? Now, I have lost many things in my life. My parents have both died, my younger brother too. I have lost jobs, a marriage, relationships. I've had to put beloved pets down. My children are doing okay today, I think, but some of them live with incurable physical illness, some with lifelong mental illness. They have suffered divorce and breakdown and job losses galore. Among those I love most, there have been and will be more times when hopes have crumbled and expectations have collapsed. Think about what you've lost. Maybe just in the last year and a half. If you've lost parents or family, if you've lost a job, if you've lost a home, if you've lost a marriage or a friend or a partner or a spouse, if you've lost a child or the ability to have children, these losses never, ever leave you. Oh, we grieve and we hopefully go on, but the losses we suffer, we carry with us always. They become part of us, part of our everyday lives, part of who we are. And if you're thinking about that, or you're thinking about the 600,000 Americans who died of COVID so far, or the 15 members and friends of this congregation who've died these past months, or your family members or friends who've died recently, talking about losing a child's baseball game could seem supremely pointless, even crass, right about now. But this, I want to suggest, is what the religious enterprise is all about. Searching for metaphors and ways to talk about meaning and being. As we join together to make up this congregation, we are searching together for ways to share our experiences, both good and bad, so that we understand each other, so that we understand ourselves better, and so that we can make the hard things that happen to us and around us that much easier to bear. Losing a baseball game, losing any game, doesn't hold a candle to the kinds of losses most of us have experienced in our lives. But the stuff we learn in one part of our lives sometimes helps to give us language that we can use in other parts of our lives. I said I learned at least one thing that losing season of mine, and that was how to lose. But as I think about it more, I realize I learned another thing that holds me, I think, in equally good stead. I learned that no matter the score at the end of the game, no matter whether we'd won or lost the night or the week before, no matter what else was going on, I loved playing the game. I loved playing every point for all it was worth. I loved the challenge. I loved the camaraderie. I didn't really care that much about the overall outcome or the final score. I just loved being there. I loved playing. Now, maybe you could liken this to learning to live in the moment. In a Buddhist sense, you might call it paying attention. If you're washing the dishes, they say, wash the dishes. If you're playing ball, play ball. Or in a Christian sense, you might say, don't let yourself get crucified between two thieves, the past and the future. Live now. Live today. I had no idea at 11 years of age that I was learning lifelong spiritual principles. If someone had told me I was, I would have blown them off. And yet, there was the truth, I'd say truth with a capital T, right there on the Little League ball field, free for the taking. As Pat Conroy said, there is no teacher more discriminating or transforming than loss. As Major League Baseball's midseason All-Star game approaches again this coming Tuesday, I find myself thinking of loss. I'm reminded that I have lost much more than baseball games. I'm reminded of the many people I have met and sat with during their own moments of deep personal loss. I'm reminded of the messes we too often find ourselves in when things turn sour and life goes belly up. But I'm thinking, too, of love. And I'm reminded of that spiritual lesson that was offered so freely so long ago on, of all places, a Little League baseball diamond. And that message was this: even when you lose, you are offered the great gift of a chance to love life, to love playing the game, and to love playing each point for everything it's worth, no matter the final score. May we continue to be the people who have loved and lost and learned from both, who have lived to love and learn again another day. So may it be. Our hymn is number 124, Be That Guide. I believe there are 4 verses. I would invite you to rise up as you're willing and able. Benediction comes from Lindsay Bates. We go forth from this gathering a little lighter of step, perhaps, but still astonished by the miracle of life, grateful for the gift of fellowship, and confident in the power of our living faith. Go in peace, walk softly on your paths, and may the light of love shine on you all your days. Please be seated for the postlude.
changes.